Hello, Steve White Trickboy89 for Steve Hearts 89. Well, I finally watched Picard. I put it off all day. I got up early today, but I managed to put it off till 11 p.m. at night. Mostly because I had seen a thumbnail with Brent Spiner playing like a human Data, and I just was dreading what that could be. The idea that they had created a live Data, human Data, or something. I just didn't want to deal with it. And I was busy, so I just avoided it all day. But I finally watched it, and spoilers right away, they didn't do that, thank God. But there are other issues that was really bad with the episode. Now, like I said, I did put it off because I do kind of dread it, because even though the show is not that bad on some level, it's like a generic science fiction show. It's not TNG, it's not Star Trek. It's not great science fiction. It's not good science fiction. It's average science fiction using Star Trek elements. So I have kind of been avoiding it because there's always something that's really problematic that just facepalm. So, okay, so let's get to it. The episode starts off with Picard showing up at the planet. Of course, Narek shows up a minute later. There's a battle. The Borg cube shows up. Apparently, Jerry of Nine looked at where they were heading and wanted to help them. And they all get taken down by giant space flowers, which a lot of people are crapping on for being lame, but I thought it was weird and interesting, and I'd never seen giant space flowers depower a ship and drag it down through the atmosphere. So it's kind of interesting. I think they were android, or they were made by the androids, or built. I'm not sure exactly, but they were mysterious enough to be interesting. So I wasn't that bothered by that. Some people were. They end up on the planet, of course. They find the Borg cube, which has landed and kind of broken, but not destroyed. And pretty much everyone seems to be alive on it somehow. None of that really makes any sense unless they were brought down, and that was the purpose. If they were just thrown to the atmosphere, they'd all be dead. So we see Jerry of Ryan because she's not 7 of 9 anymore. She's playing action hero version of Seven or Annika or Jerry. I don't know who it is, but it's not Seven. And she's kicking bodies off things and just... they're mourning Hugh, which is nice. They acknowledge him. Elnor shows up and he's all excited, but he can't go with Picard because he wants to stay to protect the reclaimed Borg. They decide that would be the best thing. He sort of says goodbye because someone told him. Basically, he passed out on the ship when they went through the atmosphere, and he had to reveal, or it was revealed by Dradi, and he had to reveal that he does have a terminal problem. He's going to die. He doesn't want to be treated like a dead man or a dying man, and they pretty much leave it at that. But of course, everyone's happy to see him, but he has to say goodbye. So Picard leaves. He walks out the broken Borg cube out into the sunlight, out into the it's almost like a cowboy going off into the sunset sort of thing, but not quite. Then they go to the village. Now this village is very cheap. It looks like they just went and rented somebody's beach house. This show is so cheap. There's whatever budget this is made on, it's supposed to be made on a fairly expensive budget. There's no production value. There's nothing to show it. Everything's bland, generic. The Borg cubes, just the same room over and over again, and they don't even look like Borg cubes. They just like grey walls. And this, it just looks like somebody's beach house that they've just used. And we have a whole bunch of Data-esque synthetics that God, what was his name? Maddox was making. They all have basically metallic skin and yellow eyes, and there's some version of Data or version of that sort of Sung android in development. And we see Sunji, a younger version, an earlier version of Sunji. Her sister was killed by what's his name's Captain. So she's still on the planet, and she seems to be the one speaking for everyone. And of course, we see Brent Spiner. He comes on and he's playing Dr. Alton Inigo Sung, who is the son of Sung, who is basically Data's brother, yet we never heard about him. Where was he? Was he at boarding school when Dr. Sung went to the planet that was destroyed by the crystalline entity? I mean, there's no explanation for any of this. It's just like they go, oh, wouldn't it be cool if? And then they just leave us to pick up the pieces and work out the rest. So there's no explanation for anything. But I'm just grateful on one level because it is passable. He's played Sung, 3 different versions of Sung. He played young Sung, old Sung, Sung's descendant in Enterprise, now Sung's ancestor in Picard. I can buy it. I'm fine with it. It's coming a little bit of a cliche. It's sort of something like every series there has to be him playing some kind of Sung. It doesn't bother me so much. It could have been a lot worse because they just took an idea that's already been done in Star Trek. They didn't try and make up anything clever of their own, which would have been much worse. So he comes out. He's Sung. Okay, Nirik is found, captured, and for some reason, a little bit later on, the Sunji proto-android has some use for him and then releases him. So he runs off to the hills, kind of in the direction of the Borg cube. I don't know what is happening there, but we know that 218 Romulan ships are coming to destroy the synths. Now they've found them, they're coming to destroy them. And they know this, and they're trying to prepare for it. Picard is saying, we will help you, we can escape, we can rescue you. Basically they're saying, no, we are going to do something. We're not going to just run. We're going to stand our ground or something. So we have it, and this is the big what the fuck moment for the whole episode for me. Basically, Girardi has sort of tried to amend for what she's done. She has told everyone what she did, and she's basically said, look, I will stay here and work with Sung on finishing the android human bodies so we can do the mind transfer, which is the ultimate goal, I guess. You create a human synthetic body that can house an android mind, so you're basically creating a human android, so which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's sort of what they're trying to do. So she's going to stay and do that, and basically the android mind melds with her because she's so great. She's learned how to mind meld. Now, there are scientific reasons, rationales for how telepathic species can exist, and androids, it just doesn't work. So it just doesn't work. So she mind melds, and basically what she gets from the whole thing is that, oh, this was made for synthetics, it was not made for humans, and basically it was a beacon for us, it was a call for us that there is an advanced form of synthetics out there, and they are going to rescue us from the humans, because the humans are so threatened by our perfection that they have to destroy us. So they've tried to flip it, and instead of the humans being destroyed by the androids, so instead of, they've tried to flip Skynet basically, and it doesn't come off very interesting or original. So I just don't know what they thought they were doing with that. I don't think it works. So the synths have basically decided they're going to stay on the planet, they are going to create this beacon, and they are going to call the advanced synthetics from the future to destroy the Romulans, save them, and destroy most of humanity. Basically, their assumption is that humanity will always try and destroy them, and basically they put Picard on house arrest. Girardi has gone to their side, and they are just going to, I guess, wipe out all the humans that are against them. And I guess the rationale is that, well, what she says to Picard is that, well, we will try and save whatever ones we can. So they're only going to kill the bad humans. Not all the humans, just the bad humans. So Picard, of course, pleads humanity's case and basically says, look, I will speak to the Federation on your behalf. We will end the ban. You'll be able to live in humanity, you'll be safe. You don't have to destroy humanity. You can work with humanity, live within humanity, with humanity, whatever. Um, and basically, Sung says they didn't believe him before, they didn't listen to him before, they won't listen to him now. Basically, we need to preserve ourselves, and we need to do this. So that's where the episode pretty much ends up. We have Narek run away for some cause that's going to serve the proto Soji. I don't know if I mentioned, because I did a video that went awry, I had to do again. And then this one ended before it should have. So for some reason, my camera keeps dying around 8 minutes, and I have to do either 2 videos if it's over 8 minutes, or keep it to under 8 minutes. I don't know what's happening. They have Spot too, who was created. They have God, what was I going to talk about? I've lost my notes. Oh, they have a tricoder. There's a few things here. They had a tricoder which they said they used the sounds from TNG, but they didn't use the TNG effects. Said, oh, we've got our old tricoder. All our power for the ship's gone down, but we found a tricoder to scan you to see what's wrong. And it was like, oh, they're going to show a tricoder. And no, it was just some made up ancient tricoder that was older than the next gen one. So we didn't get that little nugget, which would have been nice, but would have cost them money in merchandise or licensing or whatever. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about this episode. It's I mean, there were a couple of funny moments when they go down the planet and they leave the ship. Raffi is like, we're probably going to have homicidal fungus, which made me think of the K7 planet, was it? Kelly Green planet from Gold Key, where it was like a bunch of giant plants that were running around killing humans. They ate humans. That was the first Star Trek comic I ever read. It was the first Gold Key comic that they did. I got the reprint issue 29 from years later. I got off someone. So I would have loved for them to have done an actual homage to that somewhere in the episode. That would have been great. But just a little joke was something. And the other thing of Raffi, and I do agree her acting is decent, but her character is awful. It is stereotypical and not very forward thinking. Basically, she's sad that Picard's dying. She speaks to him and she says, I love you, JL. And she says, you don't have to say it. But then he does. He says, I love you too, Raffi. And it's a nice little moment because Picard, I remember when I first saw Picard in the first episode Encounter at Farpoint, I thought, what a cold, boring, dull, old... And he grew on me. And I love that he has softened to a certain degree and he's not as remote as he used to be. He's gotten better with children. I do like that they've given his character that growth in some way. So there are very few tiny little nuggets of worth in this, like the Rikers a couple of episodes ago. But the rest of it is just generic science fiction and just things that do not work in Star Trek chronology or science or anything, or canon, that just, you're just face palming. Like androids that can mind meld, which has no basis that I can see in theoretical science used in Star Trek in relation to Romulans and Vulcans. So I don't know, I guess I'm going to leave it there. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. I've gone through my notes. I can't think of anything else. It's just, I just kind of am looking forward to next week, so I just want it to end. I will end up buying the box set just for the episode with the Rikers and the scene with the Enterprise on the 10 forward. That's pretty much all. I might watch that episode with the Rikers and that scene from the first episode occasionally. I don't ever see myself watching the series, and not for entertainment. I like every other Star Trek show I will periodically watch in time because I love them. I return to them. I want to live in that universe, that world. It inspires me. It gives me hope. It does all the things it's supposed to do. This show doesn't do any of that. And I can't see them doing any of this by the end of the episode. The only good thing about it is that the original idea that they were just going to destroy the Federation At least it was the Romulans doing it from outside, and when they eliminate that, in theory, they should be able to get the Federation back to where it was and out of this xenophobia and all of that. I don't believe they'll leave the Federation with that. I don't believe it's going to just be a slow decline into Discovery Season 3. I don't think they're actually going to do that, which is my main concern for the whole season was that. But I'm going to go. I've waffled on enough. I've taken 2 videos. It's taken too long. But feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I'm just glad I have this release to like talk about this show and get it out of my system every week, because I wouldn't want to live with it. I'm gonna go. Bye.